I am Brigadier Chima from Universal AI University. So we are the first AI university in India and perhaps the only one. We are located in Karjat and at the moment it's a residential campus of about 40 acres and we are there since 2009. And at the moment, and there are around more than a dozen waterfalls all around us. We are surrounded by hills, Sayadri Hills, and there are a lot of trekking trails in our backyard. We go there once in a week. And I served in the Indian Army for about 4 decades, and now I'm, once I superannuated, I said, now what? Then I said, from defending the nation, it should be rest of life for building the nation. And that is through the education, our future leaders. I'm there with the Universal AI University this is my 12th year now running. And we are a family. We are not a institute or anything. So that's how we grow together. As a university, we have our School of Management, we have Liberal Arts, we have School of Design, we have School of Sound, Music and Cinematics, and we have School of Design. So all this put together, there's one thing common in all the schools, and that's a core subject. There are 4 types. The spectrum is, one is spirituality is mandatory. Then is we have sustainability, again is mandatory because every student is a SDG ambassador. There are 17 SDGs which you are following. Then is a social for payback time. They have to go and do their projects in the villages along with the NGO, they are partners. That is also mandatory. And lastly, AI is mandatory. So we are starting from spirituality, one end of the spectrum, going to the other end of the spectrum is AI. And AI is mandatory. That is our basic selection criteria even for the faculty. So everybody has to be AI. Or everything is based on AI there, right? Now, as far as AI is concerned, it takes me back to the time, during the Industrial Revolution, sometime in 1793, they designed a machine called cotton gin. It would separate the cotton seed from fiber, and it could do a job of 50 people. And there was a kind of a strike that this machine is going to take away our jobs. Right? Then similar thing happened when a little bit of computers came in there. We had a system of block printing. There used to be people who were specialized in that. They would make those color paste, the chemical paste, and the wooden blocks. They do the designing and then do it. Now, the textile industry couldn't cope with that because that process was too slow. So they told those people, either you learn screen printing and creating screens, or you will lose your job. So they had to switch their skills from making blocks to creating those screens. If you take a mind back in 1980s, 86 to be precise, when we introduced computers, for 3 months, the parliament didn't run. They said, computers are going to take away our jobs. Now the maximum amount of revenue which the nation is earning is through IT industry, thanks to the computers. So every time we think it is going to take away our job, it's a fear. It's a false evidence which is appearing real. Okay? Now what we're trying to say is that people here, they feel, they have apprehensions that AI is going to take away our jobs. Today, we got to be talking about AI versus human intelligence, and how do we redefine the role of teachers in that. In our classrooms, we have two types of intelligence now. One intelligence is there which can handle billions of data points in seconds, and there is another intelligence which is looking at the child. They know whether the child is eaten or not, how is the child confidence level, how much is the curiosity spark in the child, right? And then what the other side when we look at is that if we put the AI together along with the teaching skill, then how best we can deliver in a class and transform that classroom into a better learning experience, which is more of fun and which is more creative. So today, I would request my panelists to introduce themselves, where they're coming from, and what their expertise is. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all. I'm Suja George, chairperson of the Alpha Group of institutions. We have our institutions, it's based in Chennai. We have schools and colleges. And ours is a 55-decade-old organization.
Namaskar, everybody. I'm Dr. Swati Popat-Vats. I head the Podar group of schools as the president of the Podar Education Network. I primarily look after their early years programs and their teacher training programs. We have about 490 of their centers pan-India. I'm also here mainly as the president of the Early Childhood Association, which is a pan-India association, and it works into creating quality awareness, upskilling, research and publications. And we have a lot of our core team members also here. He's the vice president of the Early Childhood Association. And I must congratulate the organizers for including early childhood also as a voice when it comes to AI, industry, schools, etc. So wonderful thing. And I'm also the director of the Inspire Next Learning Foundation, which is a K-12 organization. It's a sister organization of the Early Childhood Association. We have 48,000 members pan-India. If you're not one of them, please do become.
I have. So, good afternoon. My name is Dr. S.K. Rathore. I am founder, chairman and managing director of Sandford Group of Schools. We have more than 300 schools, primary school and 10 plus 2 schools in India, Nepal and Bangladesh. And I am vice president of Early Childhood Association also. So, we are passionately working primarily in early years education and making, as many of the people from the audience was talking about, why not the quality education or AI or any technology or anything should not started from the beginning of the education. So, we in the मैडम की छत्र छाया में हम लोग वो सब करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि why not whatever kind of education or what kind of children or human being we want to produce after they pass out from the school and join the university education, we should start from the beginning itself, from the early years itself. So, this is our role in the education industry.
My name is Professor K.V. Sharma. I am Professor of Law and Vice Chancellor presently, National Law University and Judicial Academy. Basically, I am a founding faculty and Professor of Law in Nalsar University of Law, Hyderabad. Later on, I worked as Vice Chancellor of Maharashtra National Law University, Aurangabad. Now, I am working as Vice Chancellor of National Law University and Judicial Academy, Assam. Thank you.
We'll set the ball rolling now. Ma'am, Suja George, ma'am, how do you envision AI supporting teachers to improve personalized learning outcomes for students?
I think in terms of AI tools being used, teachers need to view it as a very important tool which is available to them. And of course, as most people nowadays, I mean, a lot of people are kind of, especially in the fraternity of teaching, there is a big worry in terms of how AI is, whether it's going to replace teachers, to what extent. But I feel teachers need to basically use AI as a complementary tool. And in that sense, teachers need to know when to rely on AI, when to question the use of AI, and when human judgment becomes very important in that sense as well. And AI does, I would say, it becomes a complementary tool, especially in personalizing education. I feel it's going to be extremely powerful because lesson planning and integrating differentiated instruction and also meeting the diverse needs of learners in traditional education system becomes very difficult. But with the tool like AI, it becomes extremely easy and effective for teachers to try out and also be able to design lesson plans effectively to meet the different learner needs. And I feel in that aspect it's going to be extremely useful and effective.
Thank you, ma'am. And for Dr. Swati, can you suggest that how human teachers ensure that AI enhances child's socio-emotional development rather than, over mechanization of their formative years? Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think the topic today is that artificial intelligence and human intelligence. I think I must be the first person who has frustrated AI. So when AI came in, I was the first to try it with many others, very excited. And at that time, it was a very low-key version of AI. And I was doing my research on Froebel. Froebel is the father of kindergarten. And those of you who are interested in geometry should study Froebel, because that's the problem with our schools. When it comes to introduction of geometry, we do it through textbooks and not through the actual physical objects invented by Froebel. So when I started asking AI about it, AI got frustrated at the end and said, can we move to the next topic? And my husband has framed this as proof that you don't only irritate me, you even end up irritating ChatGPT. So coming to that, the last panel, and many educators, I hear them speaking in educational conferences, that we don't know the careers we are building our children for, we don't know the courses. But my friends, when I was in kindergarten, did my kindergarten teacher know that I will be using AI? So it has always been a problem, and it will always be a problem. So what did that kindergarten teacher give me to survive in the world of AI and ChatGPT and all these things which are there? They gave us human skills. They gave us the skill of cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt, the ability to think not only for yourself, but to think for others. I want to congratulate Taj Hotels, because if you see on your table, you don't see plastic bottles. Everybody talks about SDG goals. Every school has a poster on it, and every principal's office has a plastic bottle, which is offered to all guests. Every corporate has it, every conference has it, every parliament meeting has it, even Jantar Mantar is having it right now. But we don't make that connection, and I think that's where early childhood matters. It teaches children. I've written 2 coding books. For who? For 3 to 6-year-olds. And people wonder, coding at that age? It's non-screen based because it teaches them computational thinking. It teaches them to think for themselves. It doesn't teach them what to think, it teaches them how to think. So when we talk about AI, I want all of you, whether you are from universities or industry, please visit the early childhood classroom. Because whatever you're trying to teach your university students, it's too late. 85% of the brain develops in the early years. So whatever skills you are trying to teach and you want your university child or your employee to have, it starts in the early years. And if you don't teach it there, chances are you will struggle with it in primary, in secondary, in senior secondary, and then for life. So it is very, very important that yes, teachers must use AI. What should they use AI for? Early childhood teachers must use AI because it clears up a lot of their boring work, administrative work. Use AI for that. Observe children with your own eyes. But then put those observations on AI and then AI will give you the way ahead. Because the problems with assessments in our country is we assess and tell the child, tumko ye nahi aata hai, tumko wo nahi aata hai. We don't know and our teachers are not equipped with the way ahead. What to do next if I found that my child doesn't know something. So that can be given by AI. So it's such a beautiful sangam that can happen in our schools, which is called AI and human intelligence. And for me, AI is not artificial intelligence, it's assistive intelligence. It assists you. You have to have the brains first to use AI. And that's why a lot of people struggle with AI because they are not able to give the right prompts. And what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering at the lowest level, at the basic level, is about instructions. How are you giving instructions to children in school and how are they learning to talk and give you that communication? So for me, human intelligence is absolutely there, out there, primary tool, but you need AI now in the world that we are living in because it helps you work better, faster, and in fact, it makes you more human because you have more time now as a teacher because you're not doing all that administrative stuff.
Thank you, ma'am. That reminds me of an anecdote she has spoken about the Bisleri bottle. We have banned single-use plastic in our campus.
So we are visiting your university, not for the plastic bottle, just because.
You must. There are 3 institutes in India which are publishing ESE report. We are one of them. We have published the 5th edition. Yeah. And, there is intelligence and there is intellect. The two are different. Intelligence cannot create intellect, but intellect can create intelligence. Intellect is our domain, and the artificial intelligence is also created by us to assist us. It is just a tool to do our mundane work. Why waste time? There is something known as hard work and there is something known as smart work. Leave the hard work to AI and you do the smart work of analyzing that. There is something known as being descriptive and there is something being known as reflective. You be reflective. Leave the descriptive part with the AI. So that is the way we can handle that. Going forth to Dr. Rathore, sir, in what ways can AI help teachers identify and support students who are struggling academically and emotionally?
Yeah. So, thank you so much, sir. So, first of all, I would like to continue with Swati ma'am ने जो बोला. See, जो मैडम ने कमांड दिए और वो हैंग ही कर गया सिस्टम. So basically, the AI starts from there only. So whatever today we talk about artificial intelligence, I am in the hall since morning 10:30. So everybody talks about artificial intelligence today, but from where the artificial intelligence gives the answers, what we ask, or it create the code or photographs and everything, because the people like us have given the inputs early. So earlier we have given the inputs and many of the times it stucks even today because he doesn't have more answers of any particular topic. So artificial intelligence in the teacher's case, in the classroom, in our classroom, a teacher has to look after 30-40 children at a time. So it is very difficult for 2 eyes to look in the eyes of all 30-40 children and understand whether they are learning in the classroom, taking interest in the subject matter or not, whether they are taking interest or learning or whatever the classroom practices are happening, they are part of that at that given point of time or not. So with the help of artificial intelligence and with the help of AI assisted tools or cameras or any robotics kind of things in the classroom, that cannot replace the teacher, but that can sit along with the teacher in the classroom, so that we can analyze the pattern, learning pattern of the child, his or her interest in the classroom, and at the same time the assessment, what assessment, see nowadays every school is having weekly assessment or fortnightly assessment or subject assessment. So, on the basis of that, personalized learning pattern can be understood and can be planned, the lesson plan or the teaching pattern, how to teach or how to handle a particular child. One thing. Second thing, and at any given point of time, any child could be emotionally disturbed because of any circumstances, classroom, there must be something happening wrong in the classroom or at the home. So, that with the help of AI tools, we can understand their psychology also, and teacher can help the children to come out from that problem and make the child happy in the classroom and learn equally almost in the classroom.
You see, now we got so much of data, we don't know how to handle that data. For that, we have quantum computing. Now, to make that data more sensible, which can be discerned by human beings, then we made the computer learn the algorithms. Now, when you put the things into the algorithms, then you want certain tools which you can use that data in a practical way, and which can be used by bringing in more efficiency into you, right? And we can do the same thing in the classrooms. When we are, we are also creating simulations and simulators for teaching in the classroom. We have experiential learning through the simulators, with the students only creating those simulators, right? So this is how we can also use AI in the classrooms there. Dr. Sharma sir, where do you see AI and law professors working best as a team, where AI is handling research and they are handling judgments?
Thank you, sir. We are all persons in the eye of law, and in fact, in law we classify persons into two types: natural persons and artificial persons. We are all natural persons, we are all persons in fact and in the eye of law. Whereas a person created by law is an artificial person. All companies, statutory bodies, all these. They are persons in the eye of law, but not in fact. Like that, this intelligence also we are calling human intelligence and artificial intelligence. This artificial person, companies, statutory bodies are also controlled by natural persons, in really speaking. Like that, here also human intelligence and who created this artificial intelligence? Just now sir said,
Yes.
we only created. If you lift the wheel and see behind that there is some person X, Y, Z, he is creating. But one advantage is, sometime back, 4 or 5 decades back, when we want to do PhD or dissertation, LLM dissertation or MPhil dissertation, we used to sit in libraries, we used to move books, all these things, we used to remove dust, and hours together we were spending. And 3 decades back, my students and all our students, they were sitting in computer labs and they were seeing online library. They were. Now, remote access, they can sit in their village and access our library, they need not. That is the change. Everything is in palm tech only. And one more important thing, after this new tools came, ChatGPT, all these, we need not prepare. PhD thesis also, if you give the topic, it itself will prepare the PhD thesis. Everything it is preparing. What we have to do, we have to convert that into our own words, and if we submit our thesis. Previously, they were taking 5 years, 6 years to submit PhD. Now that much time, because all sources, for referring sources only we were taking, we were going to different libraries, we were collecting. Now sitting in your place, moving, without moving, you are getting total information, ocean you are getting. So, PhD thesis also a person is able to submit in 1 year. Now, even today we are saying that 3 years or 5 years for submitting PhD. Why? Olden days 5 years, now not necessary 5 years. Even education, our university system also, Up to 22 years, not necessary, at least 3-4 years, we have to reduce now, because that much time we need not consume on students to teach any subject. If we give 20 hours, previously 100 hours, 80 hours we were teaching. Now in 20 hours, whatever in 100 hours they were teaching, in 20 hours if we teach, they themselves can read. So education also, we can reduce this period, 22 to even university education also up to 18. After 18, everything, once they get PG, they can go to world and they can earn their livelihood.
Thank you, sir. Like, you know, artificial intelligence is essential now. You can't do without it. But common sense is irreplaceable.
That will always remain.
Right? So, in the army, when we make those our fire plans, when the round has to go 30 kilometers, it has to go through different atmospheric conditions. So you make the task table, you do all the calculations, and after doing all the calculation, the last step is common sense check. Right? Even if most of the artificial intelligence answers are not correct wholly, they are not 100% correct. Please, 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 you have to apply your common sense check there. That is the human part, which is very, very important there. Suja ma'am, may I ask you that what steps will schools take to ensure that AI adoption does not reduce direct mentorship and emotional guidance for students? That's the human touch.
Of course, this is something very critical, I would say, in terms of the human touch is always a very essential thing when we work with students. And teachers, nobody understands the emotional connection that's needed with students as much as a teacher does. And I would say that AI does help in terms of automating tasks which are mundane, which are routine for teachers. So I guess teachers then have sufficient time. If they're able to automate the routine tasks, teachers have sufficient time to spend with students in terms of discussions, having more time for discussions with students, to mentor students, to guide students in different ways in terms of meeting the personal needs of students, and to engage with students in a more creative and in a more purposeful manner. It helps. So when teachers design tasks for students, they can be more creative and help students to enhance their in terms of the knowledge and understanding, and also through the interactions that teachers will have more time to interact with students, and I feel in that way it will be more wholesome for students.
The topic, puts AI and the human intelligence on the opposite side. They say versus. It's not versus. And I would say it's not the human intelligence, it's the humane intelligence which matters, because teacher, what he can do to a student, no technology can do that. Right? To you, ma'am, Swati ma'am, can I ask you what are the specific human intelligence traits do early years educators need to double down on to simulate the paths of developing brain and algorithms simply cannot reach?
Thank you very much. I think that's a brilliant question. In the last panel also, we spoke about a very important word called deep thinking. And a lot of people said, how do we do deep thinking? There's a word called provocations. It's an activity that you can do in your classroom. Let's do it. It's a very simple activity. I'm going to ask you a question and just give me the first answer that comes to your mind. Don't think too much. What if clouds had strings? Come on. Music, you'll pull them down, you'll climb up, you'll take them from here to there. Okay, so keeping all these things in mind, what would happen to birds if clouds had strings? They would get entangled, right? So which means it would harm them. What would happen to aeroplanes if clouds had strings? Suddenly a pilot is nicely flying his plane and you pulled a cloud from here to there. What would happen to the world wars if clouds had strings? Some countries would have more rain clouds, right? Each one would be pulling each other's. So my last question, should clouds have strings? This is called a provocation. And it's to be done with children in assemblies with real life incidents. And a lot of real life incidents are happening around our children. Pros and cons. One of the first things that you can teach children is pros and cons, right and wrong. This is where everything, whether it's ethics, empathy, bullying, everything will stop if we teach children about understanding pros and cons. I would urge all of you all to read a book by Robert Fulghum. It's called Everything I Know About Life I Learnt in Kindergarten. It's a beautiful essay that everything I need in life, I actually learnt it in kindergarten. If we are talking about Viksit Bharat, which is going to happen in 2047, please tell me, who are the citizens, the ones who will vote in 2047? Where are they right now? Where are they right now?
May not be born.
They are in the kindergartens right now. Yes. Or they may be just being born.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important for us to understand that when we talk about values, skills, what we need as humans is taught in the early years. It's a sad thing today that early years schools in government are run as social welfare units. They're not given that importance. And in private, they are the admission doorway to your high school. So which means parents को please करना है. Parents ने बोला इतना लिखाओ तो लिखाएंगे. हम लोग हमारे जो Instagram reels बनाएंगे उसमें सब फालतू चीज़ें करेंगे, which is not right for early childhood. And I think where AI is concerned, AI sometimes, if you have used AI, if it has been made by the right human, guides you. It tells you, I can do this better like this. Can I also do this for you? AI will never tell you that I don't want to do something now. AI will always give you that two options. That can I also do this for you? Can I also do this for you? Please watch this movie. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Humans in the Loop. And it's about Jharkhand, where there are these companies which employ these tribal women to teach AI. So AI is taught by humans. And this particular company was teaching about pesticides, that which are the harmful insects and which are not the harmful insects. And that's where this tribal woman said, but this insect that you're asking me to put, that is a harmful insect, is actually not a harmful insect. And that's where the company said, put it. And that's where your ethics comes. So AI may not have been trained by a very ethical human. And that's why questioning is the core skill that we need to have in early years. We usually tell children, don't ask questions. We don't like it when children ask questions. We have so much of apasmara in us that we think that they are being rude to us, they are being insulting to us when they counter question everything we tell them. Do you know apasmara? You all must be knowing Nataraj, right? What is the Nataraj statue standing on? It's standing on a creature called Apasmara. Apasmara is your ego. Apasmara is your ignorance. Apasmara is your arrogance. It's always alive, and that's why Nataraj controls it under his foot. And it's there in all of us. You can't see it, others can. So when you use AI, don't get into Apasmara mode. Acknowledge that I have used AI. And this is again a skill learnt in the early years. Ownership. I did it. Very, very important to understand that when we talk about human intelligence and artificial intelligence, the common word between both is intelligence. And that comes from basic skills which are taught in the early years. How to think, what to think, how to question what to question. Very importantly. Because if you don't teach children the right choice of words, their questions will be discarded, that you are being rude. The child wasn't being rude, the choice of words was incorrect. This again is taught in early years. And I last point, friends, our NEP 2020 is one of the best policies that's ever come out in this country. And I have compared the policies of 39 countries 15 years back. And at that time, I had placed India at the last bottom of the list. Today, when I redo that comparison, our policy is one of the best in the world because it also has something called Panchadi. Many people asked, कब AI use करना चाहिए, कैसे सिखाना चाहिए बच्चों को? Please go through Panchadi. Panchadi are your 5 steps of learning. Very similar to Maslow's, Bloom's taxonomy. Very similar to IB's inquiry method. And the Panchadi tells you that Aditi, which means introduction के time, जब आप कोई knowledge सीख रहे हो, तब AI मत use करो. Both, when you are going deeper into that knowledge, don't use AI. Use AI for Abhyas, Prayog and Prasar. These are the last 3 stages where AI should be used. Now, if teachers know this, I'm coming to know a child, I will not use AI. And that's why I'm sorry, but I don't like CCTV cameras constantly watching a child. It should be humans watching a child. Because that's your Aditi to your child. So once we keep all this in mind, the algorithm does not become more important. It is the human part of it that becomes important. But we are growing up children who will be able to survive and thrive in the world of AI.
Sure.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dr. Rathore, sir, coming to the ethics now, she mentioned about the ethical part. What role should school leadership play in ensuring ethical and responsible use of AI for the benefit of students?
Yeah. So, I think the hall is full of leaders only. Most of the people sitting in the hall, whether on the stage or in the audience, most of us are school leaders, maybe principals or directors or founders. So, in our country there is a problem. See, whatever technology or tools or anything we use for the marketing. If we have, whenever the computer came, हमारा school में computers हैं. When the CCTV came, our school is CCTV surveillance. So, when the COVID came, we have sanitizer on the gate itself, face recognition and all that. So, the school leader's role should be to use whatever tool you are having in your school or you are planning to implement in your school, not only to market it. Marketing तो अपने आप होगी. When you are using your teachers or your school, so AI can simplify, because since morning we are discussing all these things. AI can simplify the school operations, the assessment of the children, marking. So, see what our teachers are doing today. Our teachers are taking assessments, 30-40 children in the classroom, 5-7 subjects, and every teacher is checking all the copies one by one. 10 questions, 10 multiplied by 30, 300 questions every week, every subject teacher for every class. So, AI can reduce this time. If we are using the assessment system with the help of AI tools, then this can be done in the very few minutes. So, this will reduce that time, and this will give more time for the teachers to explore new things, to interact with the children, to interact with the parents. See, today big problem is whatever we wanted to convey to the parent, that could not be conveyed in the right manner also, because हम convince नहीं कर पाते हैं उनको. I tell you, in one of my schools, in my 10+2 school, there was a girl who don't want to study science in 11th, but the father was very clear कि नहीं, मेरी बेटी तो science ही पढ़ेगी. How can we convince the parent when it is not specifically ask parent from the early stage, 7th 8th से अगर उसको बताना शुरू किया होता हमने, तो teachers को भी नहीं पता. Basically, when the teachers know everything about the child's interest, then only teacher can specifically convey to the parents. So, with the help of AI, the leadership role.
The child is going to depression.
Yeah, I tell you. I tell that girl was very bright girl, 10th the score was very good and 12th just passing marks. So, the leader's role should be to make a complete system in the school, whatever technology we are adopting, whether it is AI today in today's world, earlier it was computers or any other software. So, to specify that this is for the benefit of the child, this is for the skill upgradation of the teachers, this is for the benefit of the school, the benefit for the parent. The whole system should be taken care with the help of AI tools, then only the leadership is the right leadership.
So we got to bring in those issues or the points in our policy that, what are the ways to use AI in an ethical manner which can help the students. Thank you, sir. Dr. Sharma, sir, for you, can AI take over legal research and drafting so that professors can, choose, have more time for mentoring and courtroom skills?
Surely, sir, it can. AI can take anything except some professions, particularly parents' duties, mother and father. We can't nominate or appoint one robot to take care of child. Similarly, judge's role, legal provision, AI can't take, because the law says, Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita says, in case of theft, 2 to 7 years imprisonment. Suppose if you give the same to AI decision, 2 years to 2 years minimum it gives. Suppose a person, I have stolen 10,000 rupees from X for using some illegal purposes. For that, 2 to 3 years imprisonment judge can give. Suppose I am suffering from, I am not having food from last 3-4 days and I have stolen one loaf of bread. For that also 2 years imprisonment. If you ask AI will give 2 years imprisonment. That's why a judge should act with brain and a heart. Yeah. Lawyer should act with brain and heart. So, legal position, AI cannot take away the position of law. Similarly, teaching also, a human touch and human person, if he stands and teaches, otherwise distant mode of education was there the last 70 years. Why students are joining in educational institutions and even civil services training or competitive exams, they themselves can study. Even then, why they are joining in coaching institutions. If you take this Einstein and his driver, some of you might be knowing that, he was delivering lectures on a particular theory in several universities. Once his driver said, whatever you are saying, I can also say.
Yes.
It is very easy. Then let us change our roles, he said. And next, the organizers, they don't know who is Einstein, so they took the driver. Extempore, he said, without leaving one point. But one of the audience, he asked some doubt. He was unable to say, but he was having good common sense. Yeah. Oh, this is very simple answer. Even my driver
will also know it.
So, AI can act as a cassette in case we get any doubt or anything. AI can't. Only human being can.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. The time for us given to 4 o'clock. We are done. We'll wrap it up like a good soldier. Right? So all I'll say is the other day we were talking to the student Gen Zs. I asked them, how much is your attention span? They said 30 seconds. Now, you got to bring that kind of a zing in the classroom using AI, and AI can really help you. So there should be a fusion between the human or humane intelligence and the artificial intelligence in the classroom. Thank you so much, panelists. What a delight to have you.
Today's generation only sees 30 seconds reels, but they also sat through 4 hours of Durandar.
Yeah.
So it means your content has to be good.
Yes.